Okay, so what's that look on your face?
We're recording. My name is Laura. My husband is behind the video camera. He's controlling everything else.
Yes, I am. Yes. Okay. So what was that look on your face like?
Maybe I just wasn't completely ready, even though he said ready, and then I heard a bing, and I'm like, oh, we're already rolling.
Yes, we business over here. So what are we talking about today?
Understanding is not necessary.
Are you talking to me about that?
That is our topic for today.
This is like a personal thing or what? What is this?
No. Individuals are given specific things to do, and then they'll say, well, I don't understand. I don't see how that's going to work. Or, just things like that. And it's not so much you need to know how it works or understand all the details. Just do what you're asked to do, because the Ascended Masters and the angels, they see what we don't. So by them telling you, you should do this, we recommend you follow this or do this one thing, just do it.
But what if they don't believe in Ascended Masters or angels?
Then go out on a limb, jump with that leap of faith, and just try it anyway.
You talking about?
See what happens.
I read something once where someone said, just jump out the window and know that you'll have wings.
On the way down.
Have you seen that?
It sounds familiar. I don't know that I've seen it.
I read that like, I will not do that. I don't care what you say. I don't believe I'm going to grow wings, jump out of a window. So I'm not doing that. So is that what you're talking about?
Sure. Just do it is, what I say.
That's Nike's commercial.
That's Nike commercial, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not advertising for that company. I'm just letting you know, you may not understand something, especially when it comes to the spiritual realm and things that take place that we're asked to do. But for me, as I do things, even though I don't understand why I would be doing them, not that I can say it's ever explained why, but I see improvements in my life. I'm trying to think of a very specific example, but one is not coming to my mind. But I know I've been through this with my husband. He'll be like, will you just do it? I'll be like, yes, okay. Don't ask why. All right, fine, I won't.
But then she says that she trusts me.
Well, I must say, there are times when my husband will tell me to do things, and I'll think, what is this man thinking? And then he'll just be adamant about it, and I'll finally do it. And he'll be like, why don't you follow the guidance? And I'll be like, well, sometimes it's hard for me to know when you're giving me guidance versus when it's really you, So we have that conversation in our house a lot. But for you, when you receive information from my husband, it will be guidance, and I'll let you know this is your guidance. So that way you understand that part, that it's guidance.
Oh, okay.
Not that you need to understand the guidance completely.
You caught that one, huh?
I did. I saw you.
Well, see, so let's revisit that, right?
Great.
Someone doesn't believe in God.
Correct.
Someone doesn't believe in their Ascended Masters. They definitely don't believe in Jesus.
Right.
So why would they want to follow the guidance? I mean, what would make them do it? No, well, not that anything makes you do it, but why would they decide to do it?
Well,
because you're talking about Ascended Masters, you're talking about angels, you're talking about God.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where guidance comes from?
Yes.
As far as you're concerned, right?
As far as I know, our spirit guides, our dearly departed loved ones.
All right.
But for someone who doesn't believe in any of that, I don't know what to tell them. I mean, we've talked in other videos about, people believe in energy because they know there's energy in everything.
Okay. Or they believe in source. They might refer to it as source, or refer to it as a supreme being or something else.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to say God because in their mind it's not God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point that I wanted to clarify. They might even say the universe. Some people just say universe.
Oh, so you're just saying it's the terms that I'm using that people might not be familiar with, that they don't believe in using those terms,
No.
but they call it something else?
No, they might be familiar with it. If there's someone on this planet that's not familiar with the word God, I'd be very surprised. They're familiar with the word God, they just don't accept that as part of their world.
Okay.
Because they don't believe in God. But I've met individuals that tell me they don't believe in God, but they do believe in
a higher power.
a higher power, or the power of the universe, that the universe will come to their aid.
Okay.
So if someone has that belief system where the universe will come to their aid, not God, then why would they want to follow the guidance that we deliver to them? Because we're not saying that the guidance is coming from the universe. We're saying the guidance is coming from the angels, from their spirit guides, as well as from the ascended masters.
Well, I don't know why they'd want to follow it, unless if they're just really in a position where they're willing to be open and try something different.
Okay, good point. So here, and the reason why I ask is this.
Otherwise, I don't even know why they'd even come to us.
It goes back to what you're saying. Maybe they're open-minded.
Right.
Maybe they're in a desperate situation, what they consider a desperate situation.
Mm-hmm.
They figure, you know what will it do if I just try? You know, how much can I
Exactly.
lose, right?
That's what I was saying. Just
And
do it,
so
as the saying goes.
just see for yourself if it works.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I'd like to add to that is this. Now, whether or not someone believes in God, or that there's ascended masters exist, whether or not Jesus is an ascended master, or Jesus is just Jesus, or the only Son of God, whatever you want to say, whether or not Krishna exists, or whether or not Gautama Buddha is even with God in heaven, or if he's in his own world, who knows where.
Okay.
He's being punished because he didn't believe in God. Right? I don't know what people think. You know, because some people believe that if you're not Christian, you're not going to go to heaven.
Right, just like the Catholics. Yeah,
Right,
if you're
so-
not baptized, you're not going to heaven.
So here we are. We have all the Buddhists and the individuals that believe in Krishna and Muhammad. Even though Muhammad, if you follow the Muslim faith, they do talk about Jesus. They don't call him Jesus, right? But
And they talk about his mother Mary a lot too.
exactly. Okay.
A lot.
But here's the thing. Are they going to go to some place that's not heaven also?
No.
So what it comes down to is this. Well, not according to Catholics. So I'm just saying.
Right, according to Catholics, yeah, they wouldn't
They
enter
would
the
make it to
kingdom of
that.
heaven.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So the point I'm making is, so whatever the belief system is of anybody, it doesn't matter to your spirit guide. Imagine, maybe people think, well, I don't have a spirit guide, I don't believe in spirit guides. You might not believe in gravity, but gravity still exists, right? It holds you on Earth right here. So you might not believe that air exists because you don't see it. Now you might feel it sometimes when the wind blows and you survive on it. You might not believe in oxygen because you don't feel oxygen. You don't smell oxygen. You
Or-
don't see oxygen.
You may not believe in UV rays, but then your skin gets colored and burned from the sun,
Got
from the
it.
UV ray.
So it's not your belief system that makes things happen. They're already there. They're not going to disappear just because you say that you don't believe in them, is the point.
Right.
Your spirit guides are there for you. And just because, for example, we're both Catholics, just because we're Catholics, it doesn't mean that our spirit guides are Catholic.
Correct.
Wouldn't it be ironic? Oh, myself. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you wanted to talk about that, right? That was.
Well, I'll
Isn't it
let you talk
ironic?
about that. Mhm.
Isn't it ironic if you find out that, for example, I happen to be Catholic, but my spirit guide is not Catholic?
Right. One of the spirit guides is Hindu.
Isn't that something, right? He's Muslim of all faiths. He's Muslim. Is he? Yes.
No, Hindu.
Hindu. He's Hindu, right?
Unless you if you learn of another one that I don't know about.
No, because he was teaching the Muslims when the Muslims were fighting against the Hindus.
Oh, I see.
I remember that, right? So, yeah, he's Hindu. So he doesn't care if I'm Catholic. He's my spirit guide, and he guides me through my life to help me improve. Same thing goes for anybody else. Whether or not they refer to whatever they believe in as God, or the universe or the divine power.
Whatever the title might be.
Doesn't matter, okay? The point is, you're still going to get help and guidance from them. Whether or not you believe that Jesus is an ascended master, or that Abraham is an ascended master, or that Buddha is an ascended master, or Mother Kuan Yin, or Mother Mary, it doesn't matter to them. They know that they're ascended masters. So whatever you want to call them, that's up to you. And what's incredible is that when someone talks out, not even if someone is meditating, right? They're just meditating. You're connecting with the universe. So if you're connected with the universe, you're connected with an ascended master or an angel or your spirit guide. And it doesn't matter what you practice. You're still connected with them. So guess what? You're still connected with God. It doesn't matter what term you use. It comes back to the same thing. You with me so far?
I'm with you. I'm
now,
following.
How did I wind up there? Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Now, what brought me to this?
Understanding, you're questioning everything. Or what
Right.
if somebody doesn't believe in any of these things? Then what?
The point is...
They all have a belief system of some kind. It stems from somewhere.
And it's not even that they have a belief system. It's the fact that the belief system doesn't matter because the entities that are there in the spirit world don't care about your belief system. All they care about is helping you, the individual. So you can keep your belief system. If you want to stay whatever it is that you are, that's fine. All they want to do is to help you improve your life and give you right guidance that from what they can see, not what they believe, from what they can see, are the best, that guidance includes the best options for you at the moment that you receive that guidance. That's it. And it's up to you, the individual, then to execute what you've been given as guidance. Either you do it or you don't. It doesn't. They don't get mad at you if you don't. You know, it's not they're gonna say, "Well, last time I gave him guidance, he didn't follow, so forget it. This time I'm not even gonna help him. He's on his own." They don't do that.
Right.
You know, imagine Jesus up there. Jesus said, "He has asked me for guidance every time, and every time I give him guidance, he doesn't follow it. Why should I even waste my time this time?" You know?
They still love us unconditionally, and they
Exactly.
still guide us.
You know, and that's
They
just
still
evil,
try to
right?
steer us back to the path that we're supposed to be on, as far away as we might go.
And they don't get tired of doing it.
They don't. They just keep pouring out love. My son, my daughter, you will get through this. You will.
They just be like brother or sister. They don't even disown you, right? So
No, they don't.
they just do that. So it doesn't matter if you believe.
Right.
They don't go like this, well, you don't believe in the ascended master, so you don't believe that I exist. You don't believe that God exists. You don't believe in the angels, so why are you even asking us for help? We're not going to give you any help. It doesn't work that way. You know, you ask for guidance, you will get it. Plain and simple.
Now, what if they don't? If the person receiving the guidance doesn't understand the guidance?
Understand as in how?
They start asking, "What does this mean?
Well,
How does it work?
that's for them to
How is this going to help me?"
Oh, well, that's different. Then
All
you say,
those
what does it
questions. I
mean?
mean, you don't have to understand why you're given the guidance
Well, for
or
example-
the tools you might have to be given.
And I hope you do that interview with this one individual. I still think you do an interview, and I feel very sure that she'll be happy to do so. A follow-up interview with the one individual that asked for guidance about moving to this one state. I think it was Tennessee, and then found out later on that the guidance was no, for her to stay where she was. It was better for her there.
That's
And then-
posted. That interview is on the internet already.
The second one,
The second one.
I said a follow-up interview.
Oh, a follow-up interview.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Follow-up interview. Right? Because remember that she was all surprised. Well, oh, no, she was disappointed. She was really disappointed. Oh, I was looking forward to being with my sister and my mom. Right? But she didn't question as to why she was given that. She just said, okay, I'll stay. But she was disappointed because she said, no, oh, it's my mom and my sister. And like I said again, I was glad that she told us that afterwards. That's why I don't like to get information ahead of time, right?
Right.
Because she had told me that before, who knows? Maybe I ought to come up with something else, trying to put her and her sister together. I don't know. You know, it'd be like me trying to come up with something instead of getting the guidance. At least I'd be questioning it. Put it that way.
Right. Okay.
So by not knowing that, when it came out, I just gave it to her. But now she's extremely happy. Her life has turned around in most fantastic way, ways
Yes.
that she never imagined. And all she did was she followed the guidance. It didn't make sense to her
Right.
at all. It made no sense to her, but she followed it and she stuck with it. And that's the point that I'd like to make here, that when guidance comes, the more we question it and the more that we fight it, then it takes a much longer time to get the result that you were supposed to get in the first place. Because now you're creating energy that goes against the energy that was put forth to help you. You know, and so sometimes we wonder, why is this taking so long? Well, there's something that we did, more than likely, that's causing it to be the way it is. And if we don't know, then it starts to get revealed to us slowly. There are times when I'm told ahead of time, when I give guidance to somebody, that we're going to revisit that at a later time. I don't normally know when the time is, but I know at a later time there'll be more information will be given. That this is just the initial guidance. And in many cases, the person would not be able to handle
All of the information
all
at one
information
time.
at once. Exactly. You know, they practically wouldn't do anything if they were given all information up front. So they're given a little bit at a time. And then as things happen, they start to ask questions. Then another part is released. But by that time now, they're ready for that piece. Does that make sense? And then it continues that way until finally the whole thing is done, and then whatever the goal was that was supposed to get accomplished is accomplished. So that also happens. But even with that, the person should implement.
Right.
And the more they don't do anything because they're trying to understand why certain things are happening, or why they were given certain guidance, or why they were not guided to do things a certain way, because this person expected. This is when someone expects a certain guidance, right?
Right.
And they don't get that, and they're like, why didn't I get that one? The more you do that, you're not moving forward.
Right.
Focus on what you're given and just do that. Not on what you want. And this is where this is different, right? People come and they want to help you set goals. And then they tell, we just had this happen yesterday.
We did.
And then they want to tell you, well, this is how you set goals. And we're like, no, that's not how we set goals. It doesn't work that way. We operate in a spiritual realm, which is completely different than the way they set goals in the physical world.
Right.
So when you get guidance, they're actually goals for you. You don't realize it, but they're actually goals. Because once you accomplish that, then something else will be set for you. So you don't have to try to figure it on your own. You have, they say, masters, angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones that have passed on. They're helping you with it. You want to add to that?
No?
I've been doing all the talking.
Yes, you
I'm tired
have.
of talking.
Oh.
My jaw's hurting.
It's the bottom line. There are other individuals who receive guidance. They follow the guidance, but they don't understand why they had to do that. And you might not ever know why you had to follow a certain guidance. But just know that it's for your benefit and it's helping you in some way.
And they're the ones, I just had this happen the other day with one individual, where, not the other day, a while back.
My husband's concept of time is very thwarted.
I go between time frames, dimensions, like you say. But I remember we were talking, and she asked about a job, about a position, whether or not she should apply for it. And then I checked, and the guidance was yes, she should apply for it. It would be beneficial for her to apply for the job. And then when we were talking, they said, well, it's a managerial position. I said, okay. Wasn't doing anything. And then said, well, I don't know, but it's a manager position. So you don't want to be a manager? That's why I asked her, right? And she started laughing. And then she said, well, I don't know why be applying, why be getting guidance to apply for that. I said, that's the guidance. I don't question it. And this is someone that doesn't normally question guidance at all. And then later on, I said, by the way, just to let you know, you might be thinking that this guidance for you to go and take that job, but it might not be. You might be guided to go and apply for the job, and what will happen is you're not going to get that job. But there'll be some things that you're going to go through with this job that will prepare you for the job you should be getting. I don't know what that is yet, but you'll find out as you go through. She said, oh. And that's because, remember with her daughter, the one that's in law school, when she was applying for internships, she applied for one, I don't even remember, and she was guided to apply for one. But I was already told she wouldn't be getting it.
Right.
I don't know if I told her right away. I think I waited to tell her.
You did. You waited until after she went through the interview process.
Okay. So I wasn't supposed to tell her until afterwards, right?
I think so, right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we already knew she wasn't going to get the job.
Mm-hmm.
Or the internship. She went for the internship interview and then came out and called us, and when she gave me the update, she said, I don't know about that one. I don't think that's going to work out. So she already knew immediately that it wasn't going to work out. She knew it. She said, I don't think it's going to work out. Then she started telling me exactly why. I said, but this is what I learned from it. And then she named all these different things, that she listed all these things she learned from it. I said, oh. And then she went for the other internship. She was guided to go for another one. Well, guess what? All the things that she learned from the previous one prepared her for the next one, because I think they asked her the same type of questions or whatever it was. She said, now I know I had to go for that one. Mm-hmm. So sometimes guidance does that. It's preparation for something else that's bigger and better. Just wanted to share that also.
All right.
Now, one of the biggest ones that I've seen, and this is where patience has to be, whenever guidance comes, there should be patience. Because we never know the time frame that the ascended masters or spirit guides are seeing, right?
Right.
For everything to manifest. Mm-hmm. We just know that they have our best interest in mind, so we follow. Mm-hmm. Sometimes though, people get impatient. They're thinking, okay, it is guidance, so it has to happen right now. And I'm like that too sometimes.
Yeah.
You see, they say, why is this taking so long? But there's karma to balance. There's so many things that we don't know, we don't see.
Right.
And that's why, going back to how you opened this whole recording, that's where we just know that we should do it and not try to understand it.
Exactly.
You know? And even though we might not see the results right away, instead of questioning, okay, or saying, I don't understand, why was I guided to do this? It's not happening. See, that's not good. You don't want to put that negative tone on it, or that negative frequency on it. You're just okay, why? I don't understand why it's taking so long, but I'm sure it'll be fine. See, that's different.
Right.
You're not trying to understand it, just saying that you don't understand why it's taking so long, because you know it should have happened by now, but you know it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So see the difference? It's just like,
yes.
I don't know why I was told this, because look at this, nothing's working out, this is terrible. That's one way. Now you just put negative energy on the whole thing, and then goes down the tubes. And next thing you know, you'll be calling us and saying, that guidance was terrible.
The guidance was wrong.
I've never seen guidance that's wrong. It always works out. It might take a longer time than we expect, but it always works out.
Right.
Sometimes I start to wonder, did I give them the right information? All of a sudden it works out. I'm like, oh, okay, whew, thank God. I got that right? But we know it works out. Patience is the key. When it comes to relationships, I've seen people want to leave relationships just because they got guidance, or they asked for guidance, and next thing you know, like, as if they were hoping that they'd be told, yes, leave the relationship, right?
Right.
And then when they don't get that, then they're like, well, all these things are happening, I think I should just leave. Well, be patient, just follow the guidance. They know what's best for you. You might not think you're in the best situation, but know that the guidance you're receiving is on point. It's the best thing for you, and they will help you get to a better place.
They will help take care of you.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to share that yes, you don't have to understand, but you also should have patience and lots of it, knowing that everything will be fine. Okay.
I think that covers our topic for today. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share the video. We'll see you.